Export controls and sanctions have really grown in complexity over the past 10 years. Historically, export controls and sanctions really applied to relatively few companies in the industry. It was focused on military technologies and other commercial high-end technologies like advanced computing and other things that were relatively limited to just a few companies and industry sectors. Over the past several years, what has happened is that export controls have really expanded, not only to identify more items that are controlled by the U.S. government for export, but also designating additional bad parties, restricted end users, and prohibited end uses when exporting items to foreign entities. This has brought with it a number of operational challenges for companies. They need not only more sophisticated people, but they need sophisticated processes and systems simply to support today's growing business needs. At KPMG, we've really invested in developing tools and methodologies for how we go about reviewing export controls and sanctions and identifying those areas of risk that might stand out. There was one particular company that had established a classification process to determine whether their items might be subject to export control requirements. We found that the questionnaire that they had been using had been outdated and was no longer sufficient. As a result of that, they had many export-controlled technologies that they hadn't previously identified. So these were things that required government approval that they hadn't been obtaining. What we have done with our methodology is really to pinpoint these types of issues in a key control exercise, so that when we come and work with companies, we can help identify what areas need to be evaluated and how to address those. KPMG recognized the operational requirements that come with compliance and invested in hiring additional talent, not only in the United States, but expanding to Europe and Asia. We have professionals that have significant experience in export controls and sanctions. We have not only people who have worked at industry, but we have people from law firms, we have people from government. We blend this experience together to really be able to help support companies identify or provide solutions to their needs.